Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As we're here on Monday, the 7th of January, to talk about tonight's Monday Night Raw. Tonight's Monday Night Raw did take place from the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida, and to be honest, to be 100% quite honest, I thought the show was a little boring. What did you guys think? Let's see who's with us here in the live chat. We've got Sean Cook, Steve Enblom, Julio Kraft. Excuse me, we've got The Shield, Arian Banks, Legend Steelers fan, Derek Boak, Kristen McNutt, David Roska. But what did you guys think of tonight's Monday Night Raw? Like I said, I thought it was kind of a boring show for the most part, especially when you're going up against the college football championships. Now, granted, the game's like a shutout. So it's not like it's the most exciting game ever anyways. But still, you don't know that this game's going to be a shutout. So you need to put your best foot forward and try to compete with competition. And WWE did not do that at all today. Travis Ray says, do you have to talk about that nobody segment? I don't know what you're talking about. Nicholas, the $5 super chat donation, says, lost the bet. What bet? Chris McGill says, hey, Tim, I thought John Cena couldn't do the Royal Rumble if they need him on set for a movie around January 20th. Maybe it got moved. Last I heard, the movie was supposed to start filming around January 20th, but things can always get pushed back and moved, so maybe it got moved and he got, the okay. Who knows? Things change all the time in entertainment world. Twinkle TV says, I thought it was boring show. And Braun Strowman sort of, forgot his lines. He put an S of an F, my bad. Yeah. Really bad. So let's just kick it off with what started Raw, and that was John Cena. John Cena kicked off tonight's Monday Night Raw, and he came down and talked about a couple different things. Corey Graves mentioned the passing of Mean Gene Okerlund and how later on Hulk Hogan will be on the show. They also said that Brock Lesnar will be here to do face-to-face confrontation with Braun Strowman and a moment of bliss. Cena came down and said, you know what? We're on the road to WrestleMania. Last year, I almost missed out at WrestleMania. This year, I'm not, because I'm going to do something that I should always do, and that's enter the Royal Rumble. So I will be in the Royal Rumble this year. So Cena, officially in the Royal Rumble. Cena goes on to state that he was not stepping aside again. Last year, he waited too long to try and stake a claim for a match at WrestleMania, and then out came Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre said that he waited for this moment for years. He said, unlike everybody else, he didn't care who Cena shared his bed with or about his stupid haircut. Cena laughed about that line. McIntyre cared that Cena was a 16-time champion who main evented multiple WrestleManias and who Vince calls the greatest of all time. McIntyre said he agreed with McMahon. Cena was the greatest of all time. Cena asked what his point was, though. McIntyre said he has developed a reputation of taking out greats. He took out The Shield, took out Dolph Ziggler, took out Kurt Angle. I don't know if you can really call Dolph Ziggler a great. That's stretching it there. McIntyre called himself the most dangerous man in all of the WWE and said that next he'll be coming for John Cena. Cena said that he was very sad because he heard the same thing every week and got sick of it, and so he had to leave because he had enough of all this. He says someone needs to come up with a new promo. Cena asked what made him so different. McIntyre said that those guys were all talk, but I'm going to show you why. Christopher McGinnis says, before John's segment, there was a brawl. I didn't catch the first 3 minutes of Raw, so I could have missed something. Before McIntyre came down to the ring, Lio Rush appeared on the stage ranting about Seth Rollins. Lashley was with him, so Rollins ran out from behind and attacked him. Dean Ambrose ran down, attacked Rollins, and then Cena tried to make the save until McIntyre joined in. Finn Balor ran out to try and make a save as well as McIntyre attacked McIntyre and took out everybody. So then we get a six-man tag. Six-man tag team match consisting of Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and John Cena against Dean Ambrose, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. Chris McNutt says there was a brawl between Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins backstage. Okay. Yeah, see, like I said, I missed the first 2 or 3 minutes. I caught it right as Cena was starting to come out. So this match, six-man tag started during the commercial. Ambrose wrestled in black pants, which made it look like he was on a team with Rollins, as black pants, black tights. They kind of look similar. Anyways, Dean's got this long-ass chain for some reason. The heels worked over Balor until he hit Ambrose with a Pele kick and made a hot tag to Cena, who did his usual comeback. Cena hit Ambrose with the AA, but McIntyre had tagged himself, blind tag, and hit Cena with a headbutt. After a break, the heels worked over Cena. Lashley began posing, so Cena gave him an AA. Cena went for a tag, but Ambrose cut him off. Ambrose drove him into the steel steps, and they went to another break. Back from the break, Ambrose had Cena in a headlock. Cena stood up with Ambrose on his back, and the crowd cheered as he got closer to his corner. Ambrose raked the eyes of John Cena and then knocked Rollins off the apron. Cena and Rollins collided with a clothesline. Then Balor made a hot tag. Balor ran wild, drove Ambrose into the corner with a drop kick and nailed the coup de grace. However, McIntyre caught Balor with a Claymore kick. Balor tagged in Rollins and the crowd popped immensely. Huge when Rollins finally got into this match. He ran wild on McIntyre, hit a moonsault off the turnbuckle to the outside onto Ambrose and Lashley. Rollins then gave McIntyre a Falcon Arrow for a near fall. Going forward here, Cena saved Rollins a little bit from a reverse Alabama slam from Drew McIntyre, and then he hit McIntyre with the AA. Lashley speared Cena, and Rollins super kicked Lashley. Rollins caught McIntyre with a super kick, but missed a frog splash attempt. Ambrose tagged himself in and went for the dirty deeds, but Rollins countered it to a curb stomp pin. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Seth Rollins wins it, and then for some odd reason, on this big screen, the Titantron, you see Triple H talking with Sasha and Bayley. It's the randomest thing ever. And all of a sudden, Rollins got annoyed. It's like, why are you annoyed that he's in the back talking to Sasha and Bayley? Like, what does that have to do with you at all? So he storms to the back, slowly but surely gets there. He tells Triple H, I want the Intercontinental Championship. I want Dean Ambrose. I want it tonight. And Triple H goes, you got it. In a Falls Count Anywhere match. And I was like, really? Really? All of that? For that? That long, very long six-man tag just to say, hey, Seth, you finally earned your rematch. Really? Like, boo-hoo. Hulk Hogan was shown walking backstage. Sounded like the crowd gave him a pretty big pop when he showed up on the screen. And they said after the break, we will be getting a little tribute to Mean Gene Okerlund. They showed tweets from Vince, Kurt, Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, Jim Ross, Ric Flair, all honoring Mean Gene Okerlund. Mike Rome was in the ring and asked the crowd to stand for the 10-bell salute in honor of Okerlund. The crowd chanted for Mean Gene when it was all over. Hulk Hogan would come out to a pretty good reaction. Hogan was wearing a red t-shirt that said Mean Gene Mania. Hogan said that he came out in character, ready to just go full ham, and that's what Okerlund would have wanted, but that's not what he's here to do. He said Mean Gene loved to entertain, and they aired a terrific video, a tribute video that was just amazing, showing some of the greatest moments of Mean Gene's career in the WWE. I think there were some spots from WCW as well, but this was just one amazing, and I mean amazing, video tribute. Jonathan Powell, I don't know what you're talking about. He says he earned it. Please stop crying about it. I think you're talking about the Seth Rollins thing. It's because they said they're gonna do stuff that's new. So why are they doing Seth and Dean again? That's not new. If you tell us we're getting new, then give us new. Give us something like Dean and Balor. Dean and Cena, for heaven's sakes. So, I mean, that's why we're not crying about it. We're just confused. Kristen McNutt, $5 super chat donation. I thought the Big Man family said no rematches because the fresh start, but they give AJ and Seth rematches. Think about it. Kristen, they quote-unquote earned their rematches. They proved that they were worthy. Wogan King Slender, you're not wrong. He said, who interacted with Mean Gene better than Hogan and Flair? I mean, Hulk Hogan and Mean Gene, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Like, that's just iconic. So Hogan cut a promo talking about Mean Gene Okerlund in heaven hanging out with other greats who passed away. He said Mean Gene would set up a tag team match with Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, against Roddy Piper and Mr. Perfect, and they'd have a great Andre the Giant as the referee. He said he'd also have to break up a fight between two of his good buddies, Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. He then joked that Gene could only choose one between Moolah and May. Hogan finished with, "What you gonna do, Mean Gene?" Or no, he said, "What you gonna do when Mean Gene-omania runs wild on you?" And that's what it was. Great segment. I actually really liked it. I didn't think it went... So I saw some people online saying that it kind of went a little long. I think it was perfectly timed. The video, like I said, that they played before tributing to Mean Gene was great. Hogan was not out there too long. Didn't say anything to like try to get himself over. It was just... I thought it was perfect. I loved it. So then we get a 10-minute Lumberjack match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Out there as Lumberjacks, the Ascension, the B Team, Lucha House Party, Slater, and Rhino. Gable and Rude controlled most of this match. Excuse me. Let me take a drink really fast. So, Gable gave Scott Dawson the Chaos Theory. German suplex. Dash Wilder nailed him with a splash off the top rope. Rude yanked Wilder off the apron as Dawson applied a small package on Gable. Rude pushed them over. The referee didn't see that, so Gable pinned Dawson in a small package for the victory. Dawson's foot, though, was under the bottom rope. They complained to the referee, but, I mean, referee didn't see it, so I guess we're going to get another one. I guess we're going to get the Revival challenging again. That's what it seems like. The announcers played it up like they got cheated. Match was okay. 10 minutes of nothing, though. Like, honestly. Almost 10 minutes of nothing. They then aired a video package for incoming NXT superstars. I assumed we'd maybe get... yeah, Jonathan Powell, I'm okay. Just got this cough that never wants to go away. So, I assumed we'd at least get like one NXT call-up today. No. At least not on Raw. Spoiler alert for anybody that watches main event. EC3 defeated Kurt Hawkins on main event, and Natalya defeated Lacey Evans. So we got call-ups, but they were on main event, not on Monday Night Raw. They basically played it up like they haven't happened yet, which they should have. And so they played the same video package that they've been playing for weeks upon weeks now. We then get Elias. He said he wept when he thought about 2018 and how quickly his stardom rose. He said 2018 would be nothing compared to 2019 and announced that he would enter the Royal Rumble. As much as he's enjoyed his own success, he enjoyed the failures of Baron Corbin a little more. He said it wasn't long ago that Corbin was on top, running Raw into the ground. But now his life was nothing more than a joke. Elias began performing but was immediately interrupted by Corbin. Corbin said that the fans don't understand having a job with the stress level of running Monday Night Raw every week, and he should gain respect just for the job that he did have to do. Corbin also announced that he was entering the Royal Rumble, and he said he would win it, because everybody says they would win it. So we had a 9-minute match, 9 to 10 minute match I think it was. Corbin wrestled in his GM clothes yet again. Renee asked Graves why he would be friends with somebody like Corbin, which is a strange thing to ask. Crowd chanted, "You got fired," as Corbin worked over Elias. Corbin came off the middle ropes, and Elias caught him with a high knee. Elias hit a swinging neck breaker as a handful of fans chanted for CM Punk. Corbin whipped Elias into the corner, and Elias had to hold up to avoid hitting the referee. Corbin then launched him shoulder first into the post and hit the end of days for the clean victory on Elias. Again, another basically nothing match that went right around 10 minutes. And where's this leading to? So backstage, you see Dean Ambrose began ranting at the camera. He said he never liked 6-man tag matches, which is funny since the Shield were in a number of 6-man tag team matches. Ambrose said that he lost everything to do with what he had to do. Bringing back balance to the WWE is his main goal. He wasn't going to allow Rollins to take his title, and he would end this tonight. Ambrose said he would burn Rollins down. So then we get, oh my God, I don't even know if I want to talk about this. Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, face to face. Strowman came out first. He had a microphone, but then he handed it away. Ripped off his shirt and called out Lesnar. Lesnar and Heyman appeared on the screen. Heyman said he knows they spent a lot of money hyping this face-to-face, but Strowman should know the words card subject to change, which was in Strowman's best interest tonight. Heyman said that Strowman didn't need to thank him and said, "You're welcome." Strowman had a mic and called Lesnar Beastie Boy. Strowman called out Lesnar as Heyman mocked his attempts. Strowman tried to bait him by calling him a coward and saying he wouldn't make it to the Royal Rumble if he went face-to-face with him tonight. Lesnar was amused. He handed his title to Heyman, and he headed towards the stage. Heyman wanted him to leave, but he didn't listen. Lesnar's music hit, and he came out. Lesnar sauntered around ringside, then walked back up the ramp. He smirked as Strowman told him to get into the ring. Lesnar stood at the top of the stage with Heyman, as Strowman said he would be crowned champion at the Royal Rumble. This wasn't good. Yeah, that was it. Strowman said, "You're a coward." Brock came out, walked around the ring, and walked off. That was it. That was their big Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman face-to-face. Why didn't Braun get out of the ring and run after him? Why didn't Braun chase Brock up the ramp or around the ring? Braun likes to run around the ring anyways. Like, this made absolutely no sense. Why would you do this? Also, think about this. At the same time, your biggest competition, the football game, the college football game, the college championship game, was on halftime. You would think that during halftime is when fans would switch over. So you want something entertaining, something that's like, ooh, hey, I'm going to keep watching this instead of the football game. No. Fans, if they switched over from the football game, saw this load of garbage. Brock Lesnar walking around the ring. Braun calling him Beastie Boy and a coward. This was horrible. Like, why do I care? Why would somebody care about this match at the Royal Rumble? Why? I mean, there's nothing to care about. How many times has Brock beat Braun? Yeah, you could say the last time Braun was screwed by Corbin, but still, how many other times has Brock beat Braun? What's making this different? And your build really doesn't lead me to want to... Anyways, it was just a horrible segment. Boring, And the next thing was boring too. Ember Moon and Apollo Crews against Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal. Jinder, the Sings, and Alicia were out in the ring trying to calm everybody down. Alicia was yelling, Chauncey, Chauncey, Chauncey. Finally, Ember and Apollo came out for a 2-minute match. Crews wiped out Mahal and the Sings on the outside with a dive. Moon gave Fox an eclipse. 1, 2, 3. There you go. That's it. Wow. Then you think, oh, well, the show can't get any worse. It didn't get any worse, but it didn't get no better here with a moment of bliss. This also was pretty bad. So they had chairs and a table set up at the top of the stage instead of in the ring like normal. They took advantage of the Titantron screens being behind them, which was cool. I liked that. It's like, you got a late night show set, you watch Letterman, you watch Jay Leno, you watch Jimmy Kimmel. They've got like a cityscape behind them or whatnot. And here you had a cityscape behind Alexa Bliss, I liked it. I thought it was different, which they needed to do something different. And I thought maybe this could be interesting, but it really wasn't. So Alexa comes down. The first thing she goes is coffee. She insults Orlando and then says, "Where's my coffee? Stagehand, bring me my coffee." And I'm like, what? And then they play a video package for Ronda Rousey. Rousey came out and refused to shake Bliss's hand. Bliss said Rousey had an exceptional year. I don't know why I couldn't read that word. I wrote it down. Excuse me. Rousey said, "Thank you." The crowd chanted for Rousey. Rousey said she wanted to look ahead, wanted to chase after her limits. She said that there was one woman in the back who always pushed everyone to their limits. She has more talent in one pinky than Charlotte Flair in her whole body. She said the harrowing story. She said she has more of a harrowing story than Becky Lynch. She said that this woman loves the business more than anybody. She is the unsung hero of Monday Night Raw, and that's Sasha Banks. And she wanted a match with Sasha Banks. Bliss responded, "Sasha Banks?" All confused like. She goes, "I thought you were talking about me, the unsung hero of Raw." The crowd laughed, chuckled at that. Nia would then come out, disgusted with what Ronda had to say. Jack said, "Hey, you remember me? We've got unfinished business. TLC, I wasn't fully on my game, but I deserve another shot." It's like, what? Nia, you know what losing means, right? You go to the back of the line. You don't get a shot again right away, if not ever. I was completely baffled by this because Nia came out like she was supposed to be the total comedy geek. She was laughing and joking and this and that. And then Sasha comes out. Sasha said she would love to go face-to-face with Ronda Rousey for the title. Banks said that it would also be her pleasure to show Ronda how to lose with dignity and class. Rousey thought that wasn't funny. Jax got in Banks' face and called her a 300.5-ounce Samoan. Threatened to break her face and told her to get in line. Nia goes, "The line's behind me." And Sasha says, "Bitch, what line?" She then said, "Fine. You want to do this right now? You and me right now, winner gets Ronda." And I was like, interesting. And so what does Nia do? Sasha goes down to the ring. What does Nia do? She sits in the chair and she goes, "Bitch, you call me bitch, 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 bitch." I'm like, whoa. I'm throwing out these B words everywhere. So we got a 14-minute match between Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. Winner goes on to the Royal Rumble challenge for the Raw Women's Championship. So that rumored, proposed Ronda versus Charlotte match, not happening. Jax press slammed Banks onto an equipment box, which was not a DQ. After a break, Banks made a brief comeback, but Jax caught her with a Samoan drop for a 2 count. Banks got her foot on the ropes. Jax hoisted Banks on her shoulders, and she sat on the top rope. She then dropped down, causing Banks to land face first on the ropes, which led to a 2. Tamina tried to go after Banks, so Bayley, who was at ringside for Sasha Banks, fought her off and sent her into the barricade. Banks dodged a charge, and Jax ran into the post. Banks then used her leg scissors to slam Jax into the apron. So what this was, they were both on the apron, and I assumed, because Sasha's on her feet and Nia's on her knees, I assumed Sasha was going to run and kick her in the face or something. But Sasha ran at her on the apron, and it looked like she was going to do a Hurricane Rana. But then instead of doing a Hurricane Rana, she jumps up for the Hurricane Rana type move, and then just falls down. Takes a nasty flat back bump to the outside, to the floor, and Nia goes face first into the apron. Who got the worst of that? Sasha. I don't know why you would do that move at all. Anyways, Banks then jumped into the ring and applied the crossface, and Jax tapped out quickly. Coming up at the Royal Rumble, Sasha Banks will challenge Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. We then got a commercial promo airing for this Saturday's NXT UK TakeOver. Now, I got to preface. We will be doing a live recap of NXT UK TakeOver, but it's going to be at night. My daughter's birthday is Friday. Saturday, we're having her birthday party. And so I'm not going to be able to go live until later in the day, probably normal podcast time, 8:30 at night. Because I have to watch the show, and her party is basically when the show starts. So I am not going to be able to watch it live. I'm going to have to watch it after and then do the podcast. So we will be doing a live podcast for NXT TakeOver UK Blackpool, but it's going to be Saturday night so I can actually watch the show and whatnot. So just a little heads up, we will be doing the show. I'll let you guys know, again, a couple more times before that we will be doing the show at night. Like normal. So then the main event. Falls count anywhere. Ambrose defending the Intercontinental Championship against Seth Rollins. Match went about 15 minutes. It was okay. I liked how it actually, there was fighting in the back. A lot of times you get these falls count anywhere matches, and they kind of go into the crowd, and then they get back into the ring. And they go into the crowd, but at least they went to the back. So Rollins attacked Ambrose during his entrance, and the referee called for the match to begin. Quickly went into the crowd with Rollins all over Ambrose. Rollins continued the attack as the fight spilled to the backstage area. Rollins tried a powerbomb on top of some equipment cases, but Ambrose countered and slammed him onto the cases instead. Ambrose then chucked a ladder at Rollins' face. Went for a cover, only got a 2, commercial break. During the break, now, I didn't like this. You do a huge table spot where you put somebody through the damn announce table, but you do it in the commercial. You do it during the darn commercial. And then you say, hey, by the way, Rollins body slammed Ambrose through the announce table. And you show the replay, and it's just a little square on the screen. What? Huh? That should have been something you showed during. You shouldn't have done that during the commercial. Anyways, nitpicking, I guess. After the break, it appeared like Ambrose was trying to rip Rollins' face off. He was unsuccessful, though. Rollins fought back and hit a dive, jumping off of a metal barricade. Rollins then punched Ambrose right in the nose, and they made sure to show that on replay. Ambrose managed to grab a chair and hit Rollins with it, which led to a 2. It also led to a "We Want Tables" chant. Ambrose ripped the mats off the floor, exposing the concrete below. He then hammered away at Rollins, giving him a kiss on the forehead. Ambrose set him up for dirty deeds on the concrete, but Rollins gave him a back body drop on the concrete instead. Ambrose raked Rollins in the eyes and went to the top, but Rollins ran up and hit a superplex, floated through into a buckle bomb, followed by a super kick curb stomp. He would have had it won, but as he was going for the pin, Bobby Lashley yanked him out of the ring. The crowd started chanting, "Lashley sucks." Lashley gave Rollins his Dominator variant and a spear. Ambrose crawled over and barely got on top of Rollins to cover him and retain his championship. Like I said, the match was alright, better than anything else on the show. But then afterwards, Lio Rush would grab a table, put it into the ring, and they set it up and put Rollins through it with a spine buster. And that's how Raw went off the air. Yeah, I don't really know what this Raw was. What were we supposed to do? Care about the Royal Rumble? I honestly don't care about it anymore. Every show, in my opinion, should make you care a little more and a little more every week about the upcoming big show, the pay-per-view. But this show didn't make me care one bit about the Royal Rumble. It made me think, well, first off, why do I care about the darn Universal title match? Well, why? That whole segment was, you're scared of me. And then Brock walked around the ring but would never get in the ring with him, showing that he's kind of scared, I guess. And then they really did nothing to say, hey, you know, this guy could be a favorite in the Rumble, or this guy could be a favorite in the Rumble, or this. No. And then your main event is Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Isn't that what we've been doing for the last 2 months? You say you want change, you want something different, you want something new, you want something innovative, something that we haven't seen, and you give us something we've seen. Yeah, they're going to say, well, that was new. We put Falls Count Anywhere on it. Yeah, horse shit. Anyways, if you guys do want to call in and give your thoughts, take a couple calls here. 559-475-8473. 559-475-8473. The number is also in the live chat. Check the chat here. Andre Gorbiel says, Happy New Year's, Timmy, from Andre Gorbiel. Happy New Year's, Andre. Henry McKenna says, I honestly thought Renee was going to get involved during this match. She's not. The announcers are not going to get involved. I understand where some people are coming from, where they're like, it would make a new dynamic where Renee gets involved and then she's an on-screen character. No. Let's take this call. We'll go more. Call, you on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Kim.
How's it going?
So, how can you like change of them moving forward to the World and Rumble?
You're asking how I like the change? I really didn't see much
forward.
Well, honestly, I really didn't see much change tonight, so I'm kind of skeptical that we'll get much of any change at all.
So, and plus, any update on Bray Wyatt?
None. I haven't heard. I think he was at a house show, like, not this past week, but the week before. But other than that, haven't heard anything.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Have a great night. Thanks for the call. Let's go to this one. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
When will this change come?
I'm asking.
I saw a tiny bit of change.
Uh-huh.
But not much.
Yeah, I'm asking the same
I saw
thing.
the same garbage over and over again.
I mean,
just with a different stipulation.
Exactly. And the only change I really saw was, hey, they're giving Sasha an opportunity. Other than that, we're going to get the Revival challenging again, most likely. We've got how many Dean and Seth matches? Nia thinking that she deserves a shot again? Like, what? I'm so baffled by this.
Same here. I don't think that we should have Sasha and Ronda. Could it be a good match? Yes, but I don't see a true contender for Ronda's title.
No.
Until potentially we get maybe a Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Ronda triple threat at maybe WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
If it's going to happen, they're not going to wait till SummerSlam. It's going to be WrestleMania. And honestly, with them not doing the Charlotte Ronda match at Royal Rumble, it does lead me to believe we may get that triple threat at WrestleMania. And so this Sasha Banks match is just a filler stopgap.
Just a filler for Ronda as well as Sasha until we get these new women's tag titles.
Right.
Where I think, do you think we're going to get Raw tag titles and SmackDown titles, or will they be co-branded titles?
I mean, it's hard to say. I would think you have them floating between the brands, but then you have the thing of, well, if you're going to do it with those titles, why don't you do it with the other tag titles? Why don't you do it with the world title? There's too much to me that makes it almost feel like they may give titles to each brand just because that's the thing they do. But in all honesty, I would hope they're floating between both brands.
That's how I feel, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Not a problem.
Have a good night.
You too. Have a great night. Thanks for the call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Good. I was just calling to ask your personal preference between Raw and SmackDown.
Honestly, I have to go SmackDown.
Yeah, no, I know. I can't comprehend why they would even offer a change and kind of offer a change to the fans to just excite them for no reason if they're not going to
Right.
fulfill that promise,
And with your question about, what show do you think is better, Raw or SmackDown, the weird thing here is they should almost be equal since it's Vince McMahon with the final say on everything. It's not like
Right.
It's not like with NXT where Triple H has the call and everything there. It's Vince with both shows.
Exactly.
So maybe it's that I guess there's better wrestlers on SmackDown or maybe not, maybe I can't even say better wrestlers, but wrestlers that work better together on SmackDown. Because I have
Right.
noticed that. A lot of times you see these matches on Raw. Sorry to cut you off, but a lot of times you see these matches on Raw where it's just like, those guys just did not mesh together. Then you look at SmackDown, and most of those matches, like, wow, those guys really did work well together.
Right. Yeah, they really have a lot of chemistry together, and their just talent is really good on the
Right.
roster. Yeah. I mean, between AJ and even undercard guys like Nakamura now and Rusev, I like their talent much more.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that there's, I'm not saying that there's like better wrestlers on SmackDown. I just feel like the SmackDown wrestlers work better together than the Raw wrestlers do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I just don't think they're like utilizing the Raw talent to the best.
Oh, no,
their
not
best
at
like,
all.
capability. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. It's been a hard couple months for Raw. They need to turn
yeah.
it around, and they should have done it when they actually announced it, not, announce it and then do nothing.
Because, I mean, the whole thing was, we're going to be back live on the 7th. We're going to be in Orlando. This is going to be a really big, loaded show. But it really wasn't. They had some names, but those names did nothing.
Right. No, I completely understand. And I'm starting to get more and more frustrated because I got tickets for WrestleMania, and if they don't make a change now, I am scared that it is not going to be a good show.
Well, as someone that's been to WrestleMania, I'll tell you right now, because I was at WrestleMania 31, which was actually a pretty good WrestleMania. It's more about the experience of being there than the actual show itself.
Right, yeah. I mean, do you think, like, bad shows, bad WrestleManias, I mean, this is my preference, but, like, WrestleMania 32, do you think that even if you're in the atmosphere, you're going to enjoy the show, like, ultimately?
I think so, because like what happened with me, I went there with 3 other friends, and the show, like I said, was WrestleMania 31, which was not a bad show at all. But it's the atmosphere of everybody around you. You're just hanging out with everybody, even if you don't know the guy sitting next to you or sitting behind you. You're gonna just something's gonna happen. You're all gonna jump up and pop for something, and then all of a sudden, so you start talking with the other guys, and
I'm still excited. Hopefully, they turn it around, though.
Yeah, I mean, usually there'll be some good matches. I assume everyone's gonna try their best. Hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thank you.
All right. Thanks for the call, and have a great night.
You too.
All right. Let's take this call right here, and then we'll go back to checking the chat. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing good. I did not watch much of Monday Night Raw because I was busy watching the national championship game, which Clemson won. But I heard that Sasha Banks was going to get a title shot against Ronda Rousey at the Royal Rumble. I thought Nia Jax was going to give her a rematch clause, so why Sasha get a shot at the Raw Women's Championship at the Royal Rumble?
So here's the first thing. With Nia Jax, she shouldn't have even had this number 1 contender match. Nia Jax had her shot at TLC and lost. So Nia shouldn't have been in this at all. The thing with Sasha is, quote-unquote, Ronda wanted to have a match with Sasha. Ronda basically picked her opponent. I like that it's somebody new, it's somebody different, it's something fresh. We haven't seen Sasha utilized as a singles in a while. So I'm interested to see how this match goes, because Sasha is really, really good. And so that's somebody that I feel could work well with Ronda and, if need be, carry that match to where it needs to be.
Well, that makes sense. I kind of hope Sasha Banks do it, but
It ain't
I
gonna
guess
happen.
we'll see what happens. And here's something else. Why? Here's something else. While I was watching Raw, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. Why did Bobby Lashley interfere? I thought Seth Rollins was just going to win the Intercontinental Championship. So
Well, did you see Raw
what's
last
the-
week?
I did.
Bobby Lashley took them chair shots. He was mad that Seth Rollins attacked him and Leo Rush with the chair. Then Seth Rollins attacked him at the beginning of the show tonight, so he just wanted to get his revenge on Seth. What better way than to screw him out of the title?
Yeah, that kind of sucks. But what about Alexa Bliss? When's she gonna wrestle? She gonna wrestle again?
Honestly, I want to say thank you for the call. As far as Alexa Bliss goes, who knows? She had those concussions. She hasn't been cleared from them. Last I heard, which was in the middle of December, where she was cleared to take light bumps only in their special aerial ring at the Performance Center, which basically the mat is just a huge crash pad. That's all she was, at least, and I haven't heard anything since mid-December on that, but that's the last I heard. She was able to work in that super safe ring. Other than that, I haven't heard anything on if she can wrestle, when she's going to get cleared again, any of that. And it's unfortunate. But that's why they gave her the talk show, because they like her and they want her to, I guess you could say, still be able to be a part of the show. I'm looking at the chat. I see a couple people asking about Kenny Omega. I guess I think Kenny's going to go to AEW. I'll just say that. Hogan King Slender says Raw was a letdown. Julio says, I wish this Monday Night Wars would have been back. TV was great back in the day. Well, even after the Monday Night Wars, Raw was still really good. It's just they've seemed to become complacent. Vince thinks that Vince thinks what he approves every week is going to be a good show. In his mind, that's what he believes. So I don't understand what's going on with this. But with that, let's take one final call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's good? Good. It's your boy. Hey, pretty much I have this one question. That's it.
Shoot.
Since you gave me like since you're under the whole 3-minute rule.
No. Just go for
it. Who do you think could have the best 2019 in WWE, like on SmackDown or on Raw?
Who can have the best 2019 within WWE main roster? Honestly, just by the way they used him last year, probably AJ Styles. Because you almost, I don't want to say this, you almost can't mess him up. You've seen guys you've seen guys in NXT where they seemed like they're just going to succeed tremendously on the main roster. Finn, Nakamura, Bobby Roode. Then they come to the main roster and it's like, what? There's nothing. But AJ's somebody that's, since he debuted in the Royal Rumble, just been a star. And they have not messed him up. So I think AJ, again, just like last year, could have the best year of anybody.
Well, personally, I think Mustafa Ali and Charlotte. Because one, and I think you could obviously put Ali in a feud with Daniel Bryan and have Ali win the title at the Elimination Chamber if he qualifies for the WWE titles up for grabs. I
don't know if they'll go that far with Mustafa Ali, because Vince probably still sees him as a cruiserweight guy, not as a heavyweight champion kind of guy. But who knows? Maybe eventually he can win the title. But this soon, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, but the cruiserweight title is not on SmackDown; it's on Raw.
I get that, but I'm just saying, Vince probably, because Vince looks at guys and just says, "Well, that's a small guy. He's not a heavyweight champion kind of guy." I mean, that's what he thought of Daniel Bryan for many, many years before he finally gave him a shot.
Yeah. Plus, as for Charlotte, I remember that one guy saying that Charlotte could cash in and like 2 nights after Money in the Bank or something,
Right?
or something. I personally think she could like cash in and on the exact same night, like if she wins the contract or something.
I mean, it's happened before, but I want to say thank you for the call and have a great night.
Yeah.
Got a text here from 847 says, "Do you think they are setting up for a 4 horsemen versus 4 horsewomen? When though? Like if you're saying Mania, no. If you're saying SummerSlam or Survivor Series, maybe. But I don't think you do that horsewoman versus horsewoman at Mania, especially if they want Ronda to main event. Those other women are not ready for a WrestleMania main event spot at all. Marina Shafir, Jessamine Duke, Shayna Baszler can maybe look okay, but no, I don't think they're ready. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here tonight on the Monday Night Raw review. You can follow us right here on YouTube, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD, on Twitter at PWUnlimited. Of course, you can follow me just about everywhere at Timmy Buddy. We'll be live again tomorrow night following SmackDown Live. Hopefully, SmackDown's a better show. And if you say, hey, PWU, you only give us wrestling news. What about MMA? What about boxing? Go check out our good friends over at Fightful. Over there at Fightful.com. You can also follow them on social media. Fightful Online, Fightful Wrestling, Fightful MMA, and Fightful Boxing. Again, we'll see you tomorrow after SmackDown Live. Have a great night, guys.